everybody, this is Mrs. Larkins. I'm here to do a help video for weekly review number 2, questions 5 through 8. Just a reminder, don't just copy my answers. They're not the same answers that are on your quiz, and no calculators. Okay, question number 5. It's asking us to add and don't forget to find common denominators. You'll need to remember that a common denominator, you'll want to use the least common multiple. That's the smallest number that both denominators can multiply to turn into. All right, so for this one, you don't just multiply 6 and 4 and get 24. That is not the least common multiple. I like to start with this biggest denominator and multiply kind of in my head. 6 times 2 is 12. And ask yourself, can 4 multiply to get 12? And that answer is yes. So our common multiples are going to be 12. I like to write the blank fractions underneath it and then go figure out our new numerator. 6 multiplies by 2 to get to 12. So our numerator, to keep it equal and balanced for your fraction, you have to multiply this one by 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. And then the 4, to get to 12, you need to multiply by 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. When we add fractions, you do not add the denominators. That stays the same. You add the numerators, and our answer is 5/12. Always check to see if you can reduce your fraction. If the top number can multiply or divide into the bottom, you'd have to reduce. 5 is a prime number, so the only way to reduce 5 is by dividing by 5. And that won't work for the 12. Okay, number 6, add and don't forget common denominators. So we have a 5 and an 8. The common denominator is going to be 40. In this one, you did multiply them by each other. So how did the 8 turn into 40? Times 5. To make an equivalent fraction, multiply your numerator times 5. And this one was times 8. Equal fraction would be 8/40. Drop down your plus sign. All right, 15/40 plus 8/40. Denominator stays the same. And this is 23. 23 is a prime number. You can't reduce it unless you divide by 23. And so this is your final answer. Okay, this looks like the same question that we just did, except instead of an addition, we're now subtracting. And then it says don't forget to find common denominators. So we're going to actually use the same fractions that we did here, 15/40 and 8/40. And this one was times 5. And this one was times 8. All right, we're subtracting this time. 15 minus 8 is 7. And we keep those 40s for your denominator. And you cannot reduce it, so that's my final answer. Okay, our next question, subtraction question, common denominators, 3/8 minus 1/4. If you just multiply your 8 and the 4, you're going to get real big denominators. I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like so you can see that we probably don't always want to do that. So here's how that worked. To get to 32, we're multiplying each other by the 8 and the 4, so this would be times 4, and that's 12. And then this one would be times 8, and that's 8. So when we reduce, we end up getting this 4 32s. And then if you wanted to reduce that, which you should, you would end up with 1/8. But a lot of kids, they'll just stop right here and they think that's their answer. And then if you're in Mrs. Larkin's class, I always give like a big red R or purple R that says, nope, you got to reduce that. So your final answer is 1/8. Let me show you what would have happened if we used the least common multiple. So 3/8. Let me get rid of some of that. All right, so our least common multiple is actually 8. 4 is a multiple of 8, so we're going to keep this first fraction and not change it. And then the second fraction will turn the 4 into an 8 by multiplying by 2. To keep it equivalent, we'll need to do the same thing to our numerator. So 3/8 minus 1/8 is, I'm sorry, 3/8 minus 2/8 is 1/8. So we got to our answer without having to reduce. We don't have these large denominators, so try to always pick the least common multiple. And that is it.